This is like the third video in a row that I'm talking about a game series on the Switch 2 that was not unveiled at all, right? Because here's the thing. Again, Splatoon, massively popular, no matter how you want to slice it, right? In Japan, it's buku popular. It is easily one of Nintendo's biggest new IPs in recent years, since the Wii U era. I say newer because, you know, it's a lot newer than, like, you know, the traditional Mario, Zelda type situation, right? That's fine, you know, whatever. In recent years, it's the most popular of the newer IPs, and that's cool, that's dandy. Which is why it has 3 games, all of which have major, like, DLCs and things like that, and they've come a long way, you know? So Nintendo goes ahead and they've given us all of the games that are going to be getting Switch 2 updates and upgrades and yada yada yada, you know? And obviously, I'm sure it's not like a be-all, end-all list, you know? I'm sure that's not the end of the games that are going to be getting Switch 2 updates and stuff like that. I'm sure there's plenty more on the block, right? Plenty more in season, a lot in store for the next upcoming year, because we're going to need a lot of stuff to play, okay? And, you know, we got a lot of different games that are going to be getting updates. I did actually pull it up right here. Sorry if you hear a little bit of clicking here, but specifically for the updates, we're getting an update for ARMS, which I just made a video on. I think that's still very, very strange that they're doing that, but, you know, who am I to complain? You know, I enjoy ARMS. If this brings new life to it, cool. I highly doubt that it's going to do that. Big Brain Academy, that's great. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Clubhouse Games, Game Builder Garage, sure. New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, that's insane over Wonder, but I guess that is what it is. Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, of course, that definitely needed it. Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, absolutely needed that. Mario Odyssey, of course, that makes sense. And then Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and Link's Awakening are both getting updates. And all of these are usually like, you know, we have visuals, frame rate, HDR support, yada yada yada, all of the good stuff. So that's fine, that's cool, that's dandy, right? So can't help but wonder, what's up with Splatoon? Right? Because, I mean, okay, it's pretty obvious what's happening with Splatoon, right? I have to make the assumption that the reason that we're not getting a Switch 2 upgrade or an update is because that next Splatoon game is around the corner. Like, there's a very good chance we may hear about it within the next year. Straight up. The next, like, major, like, Nintendo Direct is probably going to end off with Splatoon 4. Would not be shocked. I would not be surprised at all if they really do treat Splatoon like their version of COD. Right? That's just how it's going to go. Okay? And, you know, I guess of all things to get treated that way, that's totally fine, because at least Splatoon introduces a lot of new elements and stuff like that that make the game worth looking at and even picking up a lot of the time. So that's totally fine. But I have to imagine that's the case because of the situation with the Splatfest. It's pretty much notorious at this point. It's well-known information that every time we get a Splatoon game, we're going to have a set amount of Splatfests. And, you know, Splatfest, the major events that have people playing to vote for sides and things like that, and whoever's side wins gets, like, a bunch of rewards and stuff like that for winning and for fighting for their team, and yada, yada, yada. It all depends on all the effort that you put in as a team player. That's cool, that's dandy and all. Great. We had our final Splatfest for Splatoon 3 in September. That was the final one. Past versus present versus future. And I forgot who won. But regardless, it's been over since September of 2024. It's May now. We're mere weeks away from the Switch 2. Right? Now, I gotta look back at the list of games that are getting updates and upgrades and whatever games are coming out for Switch 2. Are we lacking on the multiplayer aspects a little bit here? Are we missing a couple of things here and there for that big multiplayer facet? Because, I don't know, Splatoon would usually be there for that, you know? But we're we're not starting a console strong with Splatoon? Very interesting. I don't know. They could have at least given us some kind of update to make it so that the game runs even smoother. But then again, maybe that's a lot harder to do for something like Splatoon, for an online game, right? I mean, I don't know. I can't really make it yet. Marvel Rivals is fine. But, like, you know what I mean? It's weird that they didn't get anything. ARMS got an upgrade, but not Splatoon? Its much more popular counterpart? Interesting. So, where do we stand with that? I have to imagine it's because of Splatoon 4 is coming. Probably late next year is what I'd be willing to bet, because I don't know if maybe it just feels a little too soon. But maybe it's because of the DLC. I don't know. I enjoyed the DLC a lot. It definitely could have used a little more work to be a true, genuine roguelike, and that could have definitely expanded it to, much higher degrees. But, for what it is, it was fun. It was a solid idea, a solid concept that just didn't get fleshed out as much as I would have liked it to. But it is what it is. It's always been the same situation, a DLC that provides a lot of, like, fun new modes and stuff like that, a lot of fun challenges to really test your skills against, like, the best thing or the hardest thing that they can think to develop, I guess. I don't know. But it was a good time. But, like, I don't know. I just would have loved to have a situation in which we could have had that update or that upgrade so that a lot of people would have an excuse to come back to Splatoon. We could have that HDR support or something. I don't know. Maybe we could enjoy a little more content if we got like a Switch 2 upgrade or something like that. Maybe with another separate little side story or something with new characters to really, maybe even possibly like, hint towards what could come next in Splatoon 4. Cause I don't know. I think that would have been really, really cool, but I guess we're just not there. So, I don't know. But I do have a lot of things that I would love to see going into Splatoon 4, but I'll save that for another video. For now, I just want to imagine that we do have a Splatoon 4 coming to us eventually, because as of right now, I don't know. I don't know how alive, if we're being honest, Splatoon 3 is. Maybe anybody that's watching this could go ahead and just tell me in the comment section below if you're still actively playing Splatoon 3 like that, because again, I played the DLC, beat that, and like never touched it again. But here's the thing, even before the DLC came out, I wasn't like playing Splatoon 3 all that heavily, right? I completely forgot that the DLC was even a thing until like a week or a couple days before it came out, because at that point maybe it was just burnout or something, because every single time I got into a Splatoon game, I got so heavily into it, it was bad. Like, I could not put down Splatoon 2 for the life of me. I was playing every day with my homies, and then like Splatoon 3 dropped, and then my homies kept playing, but I was just like, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it the same way that I was the other games. And I don't know, maybe it was just I was just tired of the same concept. Maybe it was just, I don't know, maybe I'll feel differently about Splatoon 4, because we know for a fact there's a Splatoon 4 coming. You can go ahead and try to doubt it all you want, but it's on its way. I would believe nothing less. So you could bet, if you could bet on anything, you could bet on that, right? But there definitely needs to be a couple of significant changes to Splatoon 4 to make it really, really worth it. And, when it comes to, like, all the content that they provide for these games, I would like to think that they've done a pretty good job in servicing the people and giving us, like, a lot of, new things to collect, a lot of more reasons to play, whether it be online, whether it be the campaign, whether it be the little extra side mode. I forgot what it's called. It's been so long since I played it, but that was a very fun mode. Going against the Godzilla equivalent, the little kaiju equivalent for Splatoon. That was really, really cool. But there definitely needs to be more there. And I don't know. We have a lot to look forward to, though. I definitely do have it on full faith to believe that a Splatoon 4 is going to be coming, and it's going to have the best customization, it's going to have the best multiplayer, it's going to have a sick-ass story that may or may not either tie everything together even more, or it's going to give us an entirely new saga to play into. Right? So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to everything that they may have to offer with that. But at this point, I think I've just kind of droned on at this point. I've said my piece. So, If it's coming to Switch 2 at all in any capacity, great, awesome. Even if it's not going to be in the form of an update or upgrade, that means that we probably have something to look forward to in the next couple of coming years, because there's no way that Nintendo is just going to let their prime multiplayer game just die out like that. No way in hell, especially when people still consistently play to this day. So we'll see what happens with that. But I've said enough. I'm going to pass the mic over in your direction, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you're thinking in the comment section below. Do you think that it's strange that we're not getting any updates or upgrades for Splatoon 2 or 3 in any capacity, that we probably should have gotten something, especially for such an active game like Splatoon 3, and that you think that this is very strange, maybe we'll get that eventually? Or do you think that we're not getting those updates or upgrades because we're probably going to likely hear about Splatoon 4 in the very near future, and that's going to be our Splatoon on Switch 2? Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, yes, sir, it does appear to be Skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone, so thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!